Welcome to the Who Knew podcast with Bruce Lubin. I'm Jennifer Boudneau, the editor of the Who Knew books. Today we're talking car tips, including some great tips for winter car problems, ways to keep your car in shape for less money, and of course our usual light hack lightning round at the end. But first, if you've ever felt like you had to choose between getting new blinds or holding on to your life savings, those fears end now, thanks to SelectBlinds.com. Select Blinds won't gouge you like those big greedy blind corporations. Just check out the over 170,000 five-star reviews on their site. Shop today at SelectBlinds.com. Mention you heard about them on a podcast at checkout and get sample swatches absolutely free. That's SelectBlinds.com. Hi, Bruce.
Hello, Jen.
So I feel the need to apologize to everyone for my cold. Probably everyone can tell we were talking beforehand about cold tips. And I think all we came up with is just for me to keep drinking my green tea.
I thought it was a whiskey tenor, but I guess we'll go with cold.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say the tip is to drink the whiskey. That helps a cold,
well, there's that too.
That will be for after the podcast. So today we're talking cars. Mm-hmm. I love to drive, but since I'm a Brooklyn girl, I don't have a car. You, however, will loan me your car every now and then because you are crazy.
I was going to say, you always have my car.
I know. And every time I drive your car, I'm like, I keep saying it's like the next time I borrow your car, it's going to be like a Google self-driving car or something because I'm always so impressed with like the technology. I think last time it was the blinkers on the mirrors.
That's transformative.
I know. I agree. Yeah. It's hard to tell who's in your blind spot. I feel like every time I get in your car, I still haven't figured out how to use like the parallel parking camera or whatever.
No one really knows how to use that. Just listen for the beep. That's all you can do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I can't even, I want to turn around and look and do things. It's like, I need more control. So I'm excited to hear your car tips today, in case I ever get a car or for when I am borrowing your car and get it stuck in a snowbank or whatever. Right. You know, I don't want you yelling at me like that I don't know the Who Knew tip to be getting it out. Before we go on, though, I want to tell you and our lovely listeners a bit more about our sponsor, Select Blinds. You don't have to choose between saving money and updating your window treatments anymore. SelectBlinds.com has got you covered. And their loyal customers seem to agree. Just check out the more than 170,000 five-star reviews on their site. At SelectBlinds.com, you can choose from a selection of high-quality custom blinds, shades, and drapes. It's the simple and smart way to get blinds. Select Blinds makes it easy to do it yourself without going it alone. Measure, choose, and install your own new window coverings with the support of their online specialists. If you can hang a picture, you can hang your own blinds. They've served over 1 million happy customers. Why not be one of them? Shop today at SelectBlinds.com. Mention you heard about them on a podcast at checkout and get sample swatches of the room-darkening blinds or shades of your choice. Absolutely free. That's SelectBlinds.com. So, as always, to start the show, we have our tip from pennyhoarder.com.
Yay!
Hey everybody, it's Justin with thepennyhoarder.com, and I have today's money hacks. Are you considering buying a car? Have you thought about buying one online? Before pulling the trigger on that online car purchase, let's go over a few things you have to take into consideration. First, many of these online car sites actually offer long-term test drives. For example, Carvana offers a 7-day test drive policy before you have to commit to buying the car. This is so much better than going to a car dealership, spending 20 minutes behind the wheel with some sales guy sitting next to you. This actually gives you a chance to try out everything. You get to open all the doors, touch all the buttons, open the hood, close the hood, mess around with everything, and find out if there are any small issues with this car that you just can't live with. Should you find a problem, give the online car company a call. I'm willing to bet they're going to try to fix that problem before coming back and picking up the car. Secondly, so many of these online car sites are great about showing all the flaws of the vehicles on the pictures they have online. While this may seem a bit counterintuitive, there is a purpose for this. They do this so that they don't have people getting the cars, seeing unexpected damage, and returning it within the first 7 days. But you have to keep in mind that there are issues that can pop up in transport from their place to your driveway. For example, a rock could come up, hit the side of the car, and put a small dent in it. So before signing any paperwork, make sure you do a thorough inspection of the exterior of the vehicle. Check for any dents, damage, scratches that weren't in any of the pictures. Should you find this, give that car site a call, and I'm sure they're going to either fix the vehicle or let you just return it with no fees whatsoever. The third thing to take into consideration is mechanical or physical damage that wasn't documented. Because this can happen, I suggest immediately taking the car to a trusted mechanic for full inspection. Have them check for worn brakes, undocumented damage, leaking fluid, old or worn out belts, or worn out tires. After finishing at the repair shop, I suggest taking it to a body shop and having it inspected for any undocumented body damage or frame damage. This way you can be certain that this car wasn't in some undocumented accident that ended up in frame damage that can cost you money down the line. The final and probably most important thing to take into consideration is to drive that car like crazy. The more you drive that car within that 7-day test period, the more likely you are to find something that you just can't stand. And if you do find something, that gives you ample time to contact the seller. I also suggest continuing this throughout the entire warranty period. It's always better to have something break within that warranty period than afterward costing you a boatload of money.
Oh, that was a good one.
It really was. They're all so good.
Yeah, they really are.
Penny Order.
The Penny Order really knows their stuff.
They do.
So first, I thought we would talk today on our car podcast about tips for winter weather and cars, because that's a huge thing. I'm from Illinois, so I know driving around in snow is horrendous.
Well, I'm of the mind that winter sucks, and it sucks more when your car is stuck or covered in snow. So you bet. Let's get to some tips about how to get your car out of the snow and how to make the winter as seamless and easy as possible, at least concerning your car, right?
Let's do it.
So a couple of things that tips that really serve you well, like if there's an ice storm, there was just a huge one in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. What you want to do if you know it's coming, or after, if your car gets all icy, you just want to spray rubbing alcohol on your windows and the windshield, and then start your car. In a few minutes, it will melt all the ice off your windshield and your windshield wipers.
That's a great one. No scraping.
And the other thing you want to do with rubbing alcohol is if your windshield wipers get dirty, people think they have to replace them because they're getting all streaky, but you don't. You just have to rub them with a little rubbing alcohol, clean them, and they will be good as new. And they're expensive, and they're a pain to install. So that's a great tip. Another one is, again, if it's freezing out, and you know how sometimes your doors get stuck when you're opening them, if you just spray some WD-40 on the rubber sort of gasket around your doors, that will keep them from repelling. They will repel ice the entire winter. So just do it in the beginning of the winter, or do it now, and you should not have that problem the entire winter. So I love that.
I have a great one. The last time that I was having to drive in a snowstorm, I was home in Illinois, and we actually got stuck in a snowbank. We pulled over to let my sister out of the car, and then you don't realize you're pulling right into a big pile of snow and ice and everything. And we ended up, it took hours, and we ended up having to, we got, rock salt and everything. And then I found out this tip, which I wish I had known. I don't know that if you've ever had a chance to actually try it out, but this is one that you and Jeannie have gathered over the years from people where if you get stuck, they say what to do is to put the mats from your car, on the
floor mats.
Yeah, the floor mats from your car under the back wheels, and that gives them enough traction to get out. That's a great tip, because part of the problem was we couldn't find rock salt anywhere.
It really works, and you should have floor mats with you in your car.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
No, that's a great tip. I'm glad I forgot that, and I'm glad you reminded everyone about
they say you can, keep kitty litter in the trunk or whatever, and, put it under your tires when it happens. But of course, who among us is that prepared? Most of us are not. So if you get, next time you get in that situation, try the floor mats, and you'll be very thankful.
And, if you know there's going to be snow in your home, and you've got your car on the street, what I always do is I take old bath towels and put them on the windshield. And then I actually literally wrap the windshield wipers and the side mirrors with plastic bags. And
that's
it's
smart.
Fantastic, because the next morning you just grab them, throw it all off, and you are ready to go. So that's a great tip. Another tip, if your locks, you don't want them to freeze. When you still have the cars that
you don't have a magic car like you with the keyless entry.
If you don't have a magic car, just take one of those old refrigerator magnets, cut it to cover the lock, and leave it there, and it will keep it from freezing. So it's a really easy way to avoid that problem. And again, just pray for spring, but at least your car is unlocked. So those are some great winter tips, I think.
Those are really good. While we're talking about locks, one of my favorite Who Knew tips of all time about the keyless entry. Do you know what it is?
Yes,
Go ahead
course.
And say it.
So, and this really works, and this sounds like it's an urban legend, but it's not.
I've tried it. It works.
So, you hit the beeper on your control. You want your car to beep if you lose it in the mall parking lot. And if you're out of the range, it doesn't beep. But if you put the key fob up to your head, I kid you not, the radio waves will conduct through your body and you'll get extra 100 to 200 feet. And
amazing.
It's totally safe.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, yeah.
Another one, too, that we always say with the keyless entry is if you need a battery, don't go to the dealership. Sometimes people do that. They're like, oh, my keyless entry isn't working anymore. And they show up at the dealership. And usually, they'll fix it for you, but they'll charge you $50 to $150. You can actually just pry open the back and check, to see what size battery you need and replace it yourself.
It's
so something that people don't realize.
That's exactly right. And if you're afraid to do it, just go onto YouTube and just put in the make and model of your car and put, replace battery. And there will be 700 videos that show you how to do exactly that. Then you go to your drugstore and it's like $4 for the battery. No, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good one. I forgot to mention that. So I'm glad you did that.
So let's talk about some other car maintenance things.
Okay. So here's the thing about car maintenance. At least, let's talk about the interior first and keeping your car clean. So there's all these products you can buy, but you really don't need them. There's a fancy spray that you use on your leather seats and on your dashboard. And really all you need to keep your dashboard really clean and get rid of all the scuffs and scratches is some baby oil or even olive oil. Just put it on a dry towel, a little rag, and just go over your dashboard. You don't want to use too much, but use a little bit. It will shine, and that's all you have to do. Another great tip is if you get mud on your floor in the car.
Oh, yeah,
which
happens a lot.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I have a dog now. I thought my life was ruined when I had the kids, but forget it. Now I have a puppy. It's over. Dried mud, what you want to do is vacuum up as much as you can, and then this is a great, great tip. Then you take a raw potato, the cut side of a raw potato, and you rub it in the stain, okay? The enzymes in the potato, a cut potato. The enzymes in the potato will dissolve the dirt. I kid you not. Then you let it dry, and then you blot it with a wet rag to remove the mark. So that's how you get the remaining mud off of a carpet.
Ooh, that's a good one. I have a one for inside cars. If you want to get scratches off your dashboard, or even like those scuff marks, that you get, just use a little bit of oil as well that you were using on the seats. You can just use
on the dashboard. Yes, of course.
Wipe that right on the dashboard.
Of course. And the other thing, and you may know this, but I have to say it because it's such a good tip, is before you're vacuuming the car, like if you do have mud on the carpet, throw some baking soda on it, give it about an hour, and it really will absorb all the
and then
odors.
Vacuum up the baking soda.
Yeah,
right?
It's way more effective on your carpet than it is on the refrigerator.
And don't forget to vacuum the roof of your car too, because that's actually made up of fabric, and that collects odors as well, and dirt and all of that stuff.
That actually is a good tip. That is very, very. That's right. Always vacuum the roof of your car. Look up, people. Look up. You know what else is a great tip? And we did this on your computer.
I know what you're going to say with all of my... I know, with the vacuuming.
So I've got a minivan that has about 140 cup holders in it, as you know. And, there's all these little, nooks and crannies around it that get filled with all sorts of, debris. What you want to do is take the smallest attachment you have on your vacuum, and you want to take a straw, like one of those big straws you get from, like, a cold coffee drink or a milkshake or a smoothie. Put it in the smallest attachment and just tape around it so all the air is going through the straw. And you will be able to clean all the dirt out of those.
And a great tip for the inside of your keyboard, as we found out, too, because Bruce was grossed out by the number of crumbs I had in my keyboard from eating over my computer all the time. And I brought my laptop over to his office, and he vacuumed it for me. It was very thoughtful of you.
I'm so good like that. Any of you who want to bring your computers over to my office, I will vacuum your keyboards. It's what we do. It's the full-service treatment.
It's true. And, of course, what, podcast about cars and the interior of cars would not be complete without suggesting to people that they put dryer sheets under the seats of their cars, which I know is one that you and Jeannie live by. And you go in your car and it actually smells delightful.
Exactly right.
And you have 3 boys, so that's saying a
and nothing
lot.
smells delightful with 3 boys. And I always wondered why you want to hang like a Christmas tree 12 months a year from your rear view mirror, right?
Yeah.
So don't use
the fabric softener sheets smell like new laundry, or smell like fresh laundry.
Yep.
So leaving them in your car, and then you close the doors, and the smell, percolates, and it's lovely.
Yep. One more tip about the inside of the car. Actually, this is for the windshield. So if you got a parking permit, that's, years old and you have to replace it or an inspection sticker. It's so hard to get the sticker off sometimes. But if you put a little nail polish remover on it, let it soak, and then just use a razor blade, you'll get the whole thing cleaned in a couple seconds.
Oh, that's
so
a good
how about
tip.
that? How about that?
This isn't about indoor of a car, but what do you do if you have a bumper sticker you're trying to get off?
So the bumper sticker, it's a funny thing. What you want to use is cold cream. Right?
Really?
Like old-fashioned cold cream, right? And just put it on a bumper sticker and let it sit for, 10 minutes maybe 15 minutes.
You love any tip that uses like a household object that you wouldn't normally use it for.
And cold cream is such a throwback. It's like hamburger helper or something. It's something that I had in my house.
Do you think you could do, like we've done with labels and stuff, the whole hairdryer tip?
Yeah, that'll work as well. You put some vegetable oil and then use a blow dryer. So either of those will work.
Yeah, the hairdryer warms up the adhesive and makes it easier
and then
to peel off.
Use, what you can do? You lift a corner of it, and if you use a credit card, it peels right off.
Oh, that's
the issue
a good idea.
is with that, then you have to get a hairdryer and get it outside and the whole thing. So I'm a fan of the old cold cream.
Cold cream.
Yep.
You're just looking for a second use for cold cream.
Exactly,
Is what I think.
Exactly right.
Do you have any other tips for the outside of cars, keeping them in shape?
Yeah, a couple of things. What I always keep in our trunk is club soda. As old, it can be flat. It is great if you've got grime or bird droppings or bug guts on your windshield. Just spray it on. Like I put a little spray, put it in like a spray bottle. Just put a sprayer in the club soda and let it sit for a few minutes, and it cleans everything. It cleans everything. Another tip for winter, and this is outside, so it counts for outside too, is your headlights can get covered in snow and salt and dirt. You need to put a little car wax on them, believe it or not.
Oh, that's a good idea. To repel all of the slush.
The salt and the slush
And that's
will
really
not
like a
stick there.
safety concern
That is a
too,
safety
because
yes, it is.
it'll make your headlights a lot
We're
darker.
not just an ornament here. We actually talk about things
We're
that
saving
matter.
lives.
That's right. Another tip for the outside, and this is more for summer when there's a lot of bugs out, but it's good to remember. You get these dead bugs on the grill of your car all the time because you just smash through them all. Put a little nonstick cooking spray on the grill. I kid you not.
Oh.
And the bugs will come right off, right? It's the easiest way to clean it. So how about that?
That's a great one.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, those are great. Are you ready for the life hack lightning round?
Oh, I think it is. Let me see what it is today. I knew Jeannie typically, as you know, if you listen to us, she puts a household object, she writes it down in an envelope. And
are you saying my part because I have a cold and you feel bad for me? I usually say that part.
And she writes something down, and then you and I will come up with as many tips as we can. And I just open the envelope.
What does she have for us today?
And today it is here. Read it.
Rice.
Rice.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Rice is a good choice because there's a lot of things you can do with rice. And
so making rice and eating the rice doesn't count.
Yeah, making rice and eating rice does not count.
Do I get to start?
You get to start if you'd like.
I'm going to start with a tip about preparing rice, which is if your rice is too sticky and starchy.
Oh, this is a good tip.
When you're done with it, you can just squeeze a little bit of lemon juice and then fluff it with a fork, and it's perfect.
That is a good tip. That is not a use for rice, I might add. That's how to prepare rice.
That counts.
And make
as
it
long
better,
as rice is in the tip, it counts.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to do 2 for 1. So you probably know this already, but it really works. Like if you get your phone wet, just take the battery out as quickly as you can and put it in rice.
Yes, or anything wet, really.
Yeah, or anything, yeah. And
Any electronic.
Any electronic, yes. You just keep it in rice, and it really, there's a great chance that it's going to absorb all the wetness.
And the last time we were talking about this, when I broke my computer keyboard, you told me to just eat the rice after it had my computer keyboard in it. Do you still stick by that recommendation?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe I was joking then.
I threw the rice out anyway.
Another thing you can do is...
Wait, no, it's my turn now.
Oh, I'm
it's
sorry.
The lightning round.
You
have to play by the rules.
You know what? I'm so excited with these rice tips. This was a good choice Jeannie made today.
I know. All right, I don't have as many at the ready as you do. Now I'm thinking I'm going to do another rice preparation one, even though you say they don't count. If you burn rice, the thing to do to fix it is to put a piece of toast on the top of the rice and then close the lid, and that sucks up the I don't know how it
the
works.
burntness.
It sucks up the burntness, and then just take the rice out, making sure to leave the burned part on the bottom. But the bread will suck up that taste that kind of gets all over through.
Right.
Maybe it's a smell thing. I don't know, but it works.
It's a smell thing, and the bread really absorbs all the smells of the burnt rice, and then you don't have to throw it out. So that's actually great. That's actually great.
Now what's yours?
So if you have a dirty vase, you have something that's tough to get like a rag into it because it has it's a fluted or something. Mm-hmm. You just want to use some rice and some water, maybe a little vinegar. Just shake it in, pour it up, and the rice will sort of agitate the inside of the glass.
Yeah, it
vase.
sort of scrapes off the.
Yep,
that's a great one.
How about that? That's a good one. God, I got a lot. I got a lot today, so I think
the only other one I can think of is you can basically make a homemade heating pad, like for your neck with rice. You put rice in a sock, an old sock, and then you could put a little bit of lavender essential oil or whatever you want on it. Put it in the microwave for about 1 minute, maybe do half a minute, and then check it and shake it up, but do it in the microwave in intervals, and you can heat up the rice, and then you have a homemade heating pad. It lasts for quite a bit, too.
It totally works. You know what else? This is a little bit disgusting if you really want to use this on your neck, but you know what you can do with a sock filled with rice?
What?
You can use it to keep drafts out from under your door.
Oh.
So we've got, 900 soccer socks with the three boys. They all play sports, and so they all have those long socks. If you fill one of those with rice and put that along a door, it will absolutely block.
That's a great idea, because you can buy those things in stores, too, that are basically the same thing for a lot more money.
Do you have another one, Jen? Or
Nah, I'm out of rice tips. I think you took rice.
I think I won rice, but I've got one more because I have to do it. And you know this one, and you're gonna rue the day you didn't say this one because you do this.
I'll be kicking myself.
You're going to kick yourself. Let me ask you a question, Jennifer Boudreau. How would you clean your coffee maker?
Oh, would it be... You don't mean coffee maker, actually. You mean coffee grinder. Yes, because I have done that before.
Yes, I know.
I'm going to say this one because I've actually done it, and I've already lost. But you can put rice in your coffee grinder. Especially good because I use my coffee grinder every now and then for spices.
Oh, yeah.
And then you don't want, obviously, the spice taste in with your coffee. So in order to make sure that you're getting all of the odors and oils and everything out of your coffee maker, grind a bunch of rice up in there and then wipe it all out. And it all goes with the rice.
Works.
Yeah, it really does.
Great. Well, maybe we should declare you the winner since you actually
You love to declare me the winner just because you're a genuinely nice guy, but you won. So go ahead. I'm going to have to, take the giant trophy that is displayed prominently in my home and give it to you.
In shame today.
Exactly.
Rare that I win, but I will take the victory this time. So.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone at home for listening to the Who Knew podcast this time around. You can find all of these tips and much more at quickanddirtytips.com/who knew, or you can also Google winter car hacks. We have a post just for that, too, that's easy to find on the internet. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else you might want to follow us at Who Knew Tips. And we'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.